Welcome, YouTubers and volleyball players. This discussion is going to be quickly about hitting mentality and, not to get frustrated when you're hitting, what a hitting percentage is, and what good numbers are or what excellent numbers are. And so let's get quickly into it. I've got a simple Excel spreadsheet here, and defining a kill is when you take an attack or a swing as a hitter and something good, ball gets terminated, point is taken, especially in a rally scoring, and either you put the ball down or you hit the ball off somebody, or they make an error on their side, or even a blocking mistake and get into the net. Lots of things can happen, but you make an attack and they don't get the ball up. Basically, that's a kill. Most people know what a kill is, and that's the primary spiking weapon. Now, if you hit the ball into the block and it goes down, not recovered, or you hit the ball into the net, or you hit the ball out of bounds, or hit the ball into antennas, all kinds of stuff, those are errors. You hit the net yourself. Those are all errors. So you keep track of kills and you keep track of errors. That's in your box score. And the attempts are the total number of swings you take. So in the spreadsheet, and I realize if you're playing competitive, NCAA or international volleyball or whatever you're playing, you may have stats taken for you, in which case you don't need the stats in your head. But if you're just a recreational player, or you're just playing open ball, or even in, league ball, you don't have stats normally taken somebody for you. So what I tend to do for a particular set is go out and just mentally, if you want to do this periodically, keep track of your kills and your errors and your attempts. And usually I just, in my head, I'll say, okay, that was a kill, that was an error, or that was a swing where they get the ball up, or we get the ball up, one of the two, and it's keep in play. And then I'll come back at the end of the set and go over to my phone and type it in, or write it on a piece of paper, or whatever you need to do. It's pretty rare in a 25-point game, rally scoring, that you'll get 10 swings. I mean, if you're the stud outside hitter, you might get, and you're really crushing the other team and not even rotating, then you may get 10 attempts a set. So it's not really that cumbersome to keep track of a little bit of that math in your head. I know you're doing a lot of other stuff, but the formula for hitting percentage is over here. It's kills minus errors bracketed together, divided by your total attempts. So if you make a kill, you get positive. If you make an error, it's a huge negative. And if you make a zero attempt, I call it, so it's neither a kill nor an error, then that just decrements your hit percentage a little bit. These are all terms that you see, and you'll see in the box score. I'm going to pull up a box score a little later. But I've done something else too, which is something you don't see very often, but I call it the terminating percentage. So again, that's kills plus errors. So something, you hit the ball and it's done, whether you made an error or it got blocked or you put it away. So it's the end of the rally, basically. And so you don't want to be too low of a percentage. This is a less known statistic, or it's not in the box scores. But it does implement how strong of a player you are as far as a hitter. Now, I'm not advocating make errors as opposed to getting a no swing. Sometimes a good no swing is a good thing, but realize that the play keeps on there, and you may or may not win the point from that rally, especially if the other team gets the ball up. Then they actually have an attempt, and you can lose games without having a strong terminating percentage. So I've kept the attempts pretty the same here just for the math, and that's kind of what I like to do the last 10 attempts, if you get 10 attempts in a set, or you can do them in a match. And so a really good hitting percentage, really, really good, is 300 plus, assuming you're not a middle. A middle will tend to hit higher percentages than an outside hitter, just because you'll be out of system and you get all the attacks that you need to get. But if you're hitting 300, you're hitting very well, especially consistently. So there's a handful of ways that I put out. I put out 5 ways here that you can get 300. You can get on 10 swings. So you can get 3 kills, no errors, 4 kills, 1 error, 5 kills, 2 errors. So you can see every time you get another kill, you get a chance for another error. Now you can't get 7-2 or something, 7 whatever it is, 7-4, because that's too many. That's more than the attempts. But so it's normally in this range is where you want to be, and obviously any of those are really, really great. But it's what it's telling you is if you go, hey, I went 3-0, I'm actually a good statistical hitter, but I'm doing 7 attempts where nothing happens, and so that's, you're only killing 30% of your swings, and so that's something that a volleyball hitter, they think they should be killing everything, and the reality is that you just don't kill everything. Matter of fact, if you hit, once you get above 500, half your swings are ending up, in a termination, then you're, that's pretty strong player. Now I realize you're going to have a set or two where you may go, I don't know, 7 for 8, right, or something like that. But the mentality in general is you'll be surprised when you actually get these numbers that you actually probably don't terminate even 50% of the time, or maybe slightly above it if you're doing really well. So I put a 500, above 500 is pretty good, a good benchmark. And realize that you will make errors in there. Matter of fact, you only need to make 4 kills, 1 error. Put away 40% of your balls, basically, on the kill side, so you can do the kill percentages too, which is something I didn't list here because I'm a little more interested in the terminating percentage. But even if you're putting away 4 out of 10 balls with 1 error, you're doing pretty good. You're right on the borderline there is really, really good. If you're doing 5 and 2, putting away 70% of your balls. So that's the mentality that not every swing is a kill in competitive volleyball. And so you need to realize, when you're coming up through the ranks, that hey, you need to put a lot of pressure on yourself to kill every ball, and you need to take the big picture and see where you are and see where you're at. So let me jump over to a stat line of where we want to be. This is the national championship for NCAA women's last year. Let's see, 2015. December time frame. So Nebraska swept this. Nebraska won the national championship, women's volleyball, NCAA Division I. But here's the box score for the Nebraska team, and you can see, they're not hitting, even it was a 3-set match, and this was one of the workhorses, 22 attempts, 16 attempts, 21 attempts, 39 attempts. So big hitter. She did really well. She's hitting over 385, 19 kills out of those 39 attempts, so almost half, or a little above half, I guess. I know, a little under half. So she's not even, getting. But with the errors, it goes a little bit over the half that I was talking about for terminating percentage. So you can see that this was a really great performance. This was a contributor, not even hitting 100, hitting 182. So it's not unusual. Even 6 swings here. I forget which are the middles and which are not on this one. I don't know the Nebraska team that well. As a team percentage across the sets, they hit 311. So you can see these are the type of statistics, and most of the statistics are pretty close to this. These set by set, 310, 378, and 250 in the last set. Let's look at Texas, who was the loser. So if when you're a winner, you're typically hitting. It's really nice if you can win a game hitting 250 or something like that. But you can see that when you're rolling, you're doing well. Now, when you're not doing well, this is what Texas hit, and Texas lost this in 3 sets. So I don't remember if the sets were competitive or not. I guess I could look that up. But they only hit 215, and a lot of their studs, 36 is only hitting 167. I think Amy Neal was a middle. Here's Paulina, 35 swings, so she was one of the big swingers, and hitting 114. So, you don't get discouraged as a hitter if you're only, you're not getting a more than 50% of your stuff are kills. You get less than that. It's the percentages and stuff will work out. Same thing with, this is another thing that's like blocking. Where if you get 1 or 2 blocks out of 10 attempts, you're actually doing pretty well. And so it's not a high percentage, things. So something to think about when you're thinking about volleyball. I'll let you go here. Thanks.